Welcome to the Kemetic Chapel service. This series is an active service for kemetics, pagans, and any others who feel drawn to the Netjeru. There is a theme for each episode. These themes will include gods, an aspect of kemeticism, or inspiration from ancient Egypt. You are invited to light a candle, incense, and give offerings when those actions come up in service. However, this is completely optional and only suggested to add to your own personal experience at home. The service today will center on She is Led Back. We will begin with our opening prayer. Please be comfortable and breathe. Praise the great gods of creation, born in the beginning. Septepi dwells in their presence, mighty within their moment. Soptu has cast his eyes to the east, Sobek has raised his eyes to the west. The two mountains beckon, praising she who comes between them, mistress of the valley, lady of life. Today, we will talk about She is Led Back. She is Led Back is a festival celebrating the return of the wandering or distant goddess. It is part of the solar cycle myths to explain the movement of the sun during the course of the year. It involves a mysterious or vague goddess known as the distant goddess. This deity is an eye goddess, which means she can be one or all of the goddesses known as the eyes, including Sekhmet, Hedhert, Bast, Wadjet, Tefnut, and more. Often, the distant goddess is a form of Tefnut, as she is the first of the eyes. In the myth, Ra and his daughter get into an argument. In her anger, the daughter runs away. She runs far south into what is now Nubia. After a time, Ra despairs. He misses his daughter, and his light wanes. He asks two deities to go in search of her and retrieve her. Ra asks Jehudi and Anhur, the god of war and hunting, to bring her back. They head south and pick up her trail in Nubia. Once they find her, they see that she has become a wildcat out in the wilderness. They approach her and use all manner of persuasion to lure her home. It takes many nights. They sing her songs, tell her stories, and bribe her with promises of feasts and more. Eventually, they reach a place where she can bathe and clean herself from the wilderness. Once she bathes, her rage melts away and she returns to her full form. Now renewed, she happily returns home to her father, who welcomes her joyfully. She is given everything she was promised. Anhur becomes her consort, and they continue the movement of the heavens. This myth connects to a few motifs in ancient Egypt. The goddess is not only the daughter of Ra, but his eye, referring to Iriat Ra, which can be interpreted as the doer of Ra, or Ra's manifested action. When she leaves, his light goes with her, and she is his will and his action. Upon her return, Ra is made whole and can shine once more. Anher or Anhur is a form of Shu, known as Anhur Shu, and is linked to the four winds. In ancient Egypt, the winds were thought to move the heavens, stars, sun, and moon. Because of this, the winds upheld time and cycles. This connection makes Anhur an appropriate choice to return the goddess. Jehudi is linked to time and cycles as well, making him another great choice to accompany Anhur. This festival lasts roughly 16 days and starts on the winter solstice. In modern times, people share gifts, food, and stories. It is a time for community, kindness, and generosity. A time to welcome family home, whether that is family of the heart, the body, or the spirit. You are invited to light incense and give offerings at this time. The offerings are placed, the incense is burned, for the pleasure of Anhur and Jehudi, just as the lotus is the nose of Ra. Praises are given to Anhur and Jehudi, who seek and return the distant one, radiant one in her time. Praise the distant one. May she be joyous in her time when Anhur and Jehudi return her home. Adore her and make music for her, brilliant one of her father. As we conclude our service, let us take a moment of quiet. I invite you to close your eyes and begin some deep breathing. Today we have connected with the gods and ancestors. We have actively sought their presence in our day. We have engaged in the active participation and establishment of Ma'at. Our breath is restored to us by the Netjeru. May we use it well. Now we will conclude the service with a prayer. So Nut swallows Ra, Sobek descends into his lake, Wasir Ra rides upon his bark. It is the time of renewal and the promise of Zeptepi. May every prayer be heard by the gods within their shrines at the moment of rebirth. Thank you for joining me today in celebration and reflection of the Netjeru. I hope this service has allowed you to better connect with the gods in the ancient land of Kemet. May you go out into the world with Ma'at in your heart and live well.